Evening. We have got a fantastic collection to talk about tonight, one we're really proud to represent, and we've got some of the family on with us this evening to tell us a few stories and give us a little background on the collection. I'm going to kind of give you what background I've got. We got a call from our good buddy Mike Matthews out in North Carolina late last year, and he was friends with Darrell and bragged on his collection for years. I always heard something about this collection. And so anyhow, we went out to visit the family and take a look at Darrell's collection. And there's not very many collections that you can walk into that are no apologies. And that's kind of been the theme that we've chosen for this collection, because you can walk up to a tractor and you can look at it. Darrell was so particular and so precise in his restorations. You just walk around the thing and there are no apologies to make for any of them. And not only did he collect tractors, but he liked signs and pedal tractors and toys and just all kinds of great items. And it's deep. He wasn't all one brand. He had several brands of everything represented. Great lawn and garden collection. So it's going to kind of be fun to go through the collection this evening. We've got Director Dan back there behind the screens, and we'll talk about some of the tractors and pedal tractors and signs, and Dan will kind of keep up with us, and he'll cue some of it. We've got video of just almost everything running. So you can go onto the website and access that at your own leisure and watch all of those. Just to remind everyone, the auction is May 3rd, 4th, and 5th. The tractors sell the 3rd, the signs on the 4th, and then the pedal tractors and toys on the 5th. And there will be an open house on the 30th of April, and we're always available for any kind of questions or anything that you need. You can contact us, call the office here, or drop an email, or find us on social media. So hey, at this time, Dan, I'd like to introduce our guests this evening, Jason Barrier and his uncle Bobby, and Amber Craig. Hey, there they are. All right. They even got the Trump sign going good there. That's good. Well, Jason, I can definitely tell you that Amber is going to win the beauty contest between all of us tonight. So.
Well, we're fortunate for that to happen.
Yeah. Okay. All right, man. So, hey, give us a little background on your dad. Tell me about him.
Who do you want to tell?
Well, I'll tell you what. We'll go with ladies first. Amber, tell us about.
Hey, Kurt.
Yeah. Tell us about your dad and his collecting and his passion for it. And
Daddy was very passionate with what he did. He took something and created a masterpiece. And he had high expectations of himself. This was a hobby of his, and he was extremely talented with it. He produced things that were show quality, and he was very precise with his work. He took something and he was very meticulous. He created a masterpiece.
Yeah,
and lots of masterpieces.
You helped him with keeping track of everything and keeping records on everything.
I did. Daddy was very particular with keeping up with what he bought, when he bought it, how much time he kind of spent in the process of the masterpiece. And so I helped him with that inventory, and we did a lot of work with that.
Yep. Hey, Jason, and Bobby both, what was he like in the shop?
It was intense, needless to say. Bobby can talk more on that. I was there more towards later years, which is when his intenseness became the quiet, stare down type. Don't mess that up. Don't break that. Don't push it the wrong way. Intensement. Bobby started out when I was I was in my early teens, maybe even about 10 years old when Bobby started helping Dad. So, how was he, Bobby?
Well, I mean, he he always had an agenda for us to, start on either through the week or Saturdays. He's always organized, ready to go. We really didn't do a lot of talking in the shop. It's just always work,
Yeah.
all work.
Mike Matthews told me that he had seen some stuff that Darrell had done that he thought was perfect, but Darrell wasn't suited with it, so he'd just scrap it and start all over.
Yes, he would. Yes, yeah, it had to meet a certain quality, that's for sure.
Yeah.
So,
well, hey Dan, let's kind of take a look at the 30 series tractors that they've got. Just kick her off there with lot number one. We've got one thing with Darrell's collection. He's got the entire John Deere 30 series lineup from the 830 down to the little 330. And even got a few things, he's got a 730 high crop in there, which is, scroll down just a little more there, Dan. There you go. In fact, click on that 730 if you would, Dan. Let's, I'll tell you what, while Dan finds a video of that running around the yard, do any of you have any, this is a real special tractor out of the collection. You have any idea where he found that, or what's the backstory on that high crop?
I mean, I don't remember everything, but I know we went through the engine on that one. I'm pretty sure. I can't remember it hydro-locked. Maybe had water in the engine, and I think it bent the rod. I really don't. That's been a long time ago.
Sure, probably. Did he found the tractor or bought it from somebody that found it down south? I'm assuming.
I really couldn't. I couldn't give you no background. Like I said, when I came to work, he usually had something either in the shop or lined up outside the shop, ready to go. And
Yeah, there's our tractor model, Alex Fuselier. That's as close as we could get for Vanna White for this program, folks. But that thing is that tractor is pretty spectacular. I mean, any kind of high crop is always going to catch a lot of attention. But man, the quality of the restoration on that is just pretty darn hard to beat. Beautiful, beautiful tractor, and diesel and electric start diesel. Which you don't have to mess with that pony motor, and that is absolutely the one you want there. And everything checks out, folks. Correct tag. Boy, even flip the lights on, which I know with Darrell's collection, if the lights were supposed to work, they're going to work. So, hey Dano, why don't you go off of that and go back to the catalog? Hey, did Darrell was John Deere his favorite brand?
No, not necessarily.
Did he have a favorite?
When he got started, he started with Deere's first, but after the 30 series got done, he started venturing more out to done the Massey's, couple Massey's, the Alice Chalmers. He loved the look of the Alice Chalmers D10 and D12. I don't really think he ever had a super preference to something specific.
So Amber, did he when he got the real tractor, did he always try to get that pedal tractor to match it?
Yes, sometimes he did. And I was going to tell you on the 30 series, Mike Matthews helped him find a lot of those.
Oh yeah.
And Daddy wanted from the get-go. Daddy wanted the entire series, and he searched and found those tractors and enjoyed restoring them. And those are actually, the high crop is actually my favorite. I just enjoy looking at that. You walk into the museum and it kind of overpowers the room. They're beautiful.
Well, it's a good tractor to pick peaches with too. Hey, Dan, if you'd go through that, scroll through that catalog there just a little bit, and maybe go down to, I wanted to show them that 630 wide front, lot number 3. And you could, look at there, the bid's only at $6,100 right now. You go ahead and pull up the picture if if you want to, Dan, and while you're looking for the video on that. But hey, you know, this tractor, when you look at that thing, and I'm going to ask them about this here in just a second, but look at the options on that. I mean, it is decked out, wide front, front weight set, flat top fenders. I mean, that thing's a doozy. Did he was he always searching for those little extra options?
Yes, Daddy loved anything that was unique and rare. So that's what he searched for all the time.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, you can tell when you look at his collection. I mean, there's very few tractors in the collection that aren't optioned out with, you know, with the trinkets or the bling. Puts a little bling on the tractor. Oh my Lord, there's Doug. Our tractor models have kind of went downhill a little bit, but it's a good thing, Dan, that the raw beauty of the tractor makes up for the models. Hey, run back to the catalog there if you would, Dan, and I want to show them lot number 6 there. The John Deere 330 standard. A 3-point hitch on that 632. So I mean, I'm just not sure what options are not on that 330. But if you'll pull up a picture of that 330, Dan, you know, this is a 330 standard, and those were very, very low production, used. You know, one place that those tractors were sent to, most of them were sent to, was North Carolina to work in the tobacco fields, and so that, you know, there were a lot of them found out there. You know, real interesting thing about this 330 is it's got a full set of cultivators on it. And Jason, Bobby, did you guys restore those cultivators, or what do you know about that?
I don't really remember a whole lot about it.
Well, I'll tell you what, if I had to restore cultivators to put on a tractor, I would try to forget it too. Because that is a tremendous amount of work to restore that implement and get those integral implements mounted up to the tractor. Dan, you have any video of that 330 running around? Yeah, sorry. No, that's all right. That's all right. Here you go. There you go. Take a look at that, folks. Low production. I think just about 800, a little over 800 of those built. Again, front weight, rear weights. I mean, it's just decked out. I mean, it is an exceptional tractor. And you know, when we get into tractor collections, and we, you know, as you know, we sell a jillion of them. It's just not very often that we get into a set of tractors, and almost just universally across the board in this collection where we can just give a USDA prime stamp on them. I mean, just really exceptional. Hey, Jason or Amber, is there a particular tractor that you guys have a fond memory of here in the collection that you're going to be selling? Something that's got a great story with it?
Oh Lord, I mean, that could be any of them, to be honest. To me, it would be the 2 dozers. I remember helping with those. He done both of them at the same time. Originally, he had gotten both with the intentions of the 3-point and the blade being on the same dozer. But I don't remember why. I was young, but he decided not to do it that way and restore them separately. So you've got the one there that's pictured now with the front grill and the blade, and it's the wider track unit, and the other unit has the 3-point with the original top link and a little bit narrower tracks, but both of them run phenomenally.
Those, you know, number one, you got a 430, you know, which is ag crawler, and the top link, the 3-point is exceptionally rare. The top link for the 3-point on a 430 is made out of a rare metal called unobtainium. I mean, those things are super hard to find, and have zero doubt that you know, he was going to have it complete. But that's you know, the one you're watching now with Alex driving there, that's got a Model 62 blade on it, and if you this is exactly the way that you want to buy a crawler, because and Jason can jump in here and add to this, but you go to restore a crawler, it is so much more involved than a wheel tractor. And I'm assuming, Jason, he probably had these things strung apart in a jillion pieces.
They were unreal. There was two single axle trailers he had the bodies sitting on, and the tracks were hanging off the hoist. I remember the blade was over to his side. He had the sprockets, idlers all out of it. That was quite insane to reminisce over the pictures we found of the process of him restoring them. And that was, again, I was at a young age. I was 12, 13-ish, I think, when he done those.
Uh-huh.
And that, you know, so then it was a beast for me to even be down there helping. And it brought back a lot of memories when I found the pictures. And speaking of which, by the way, the blade's cabled up. I had that question the other day. But, you know, as you know, it was propped up in the museum for show purposes. The blade works absolutely perfect. You know, we've taken those cables off and we drive around now operating it. The hydraulics, there's no leaks. It runs smooth as silk.
Yeah, which I'm glad you pointed that out, Jason, because yeah, we don't want anybody to think that. And you know, again, you know, going back to the way Darrell did things, I mean, everything's going to work on it. I mean, that's just the way he restored everything. But when it was stored in the museum, of course, it was stored with the blade up. So, well, hey, let's change colors, Big Dan, and go to lot 13 and 14, because we're going to hit some highlights on the pedal tractors and the signs tonight as well, so everybody can kind of get a good overview of things. Now, when I went out to first look at the collection, I believe it was the D10. Was the D10 the one that had it was displayed with the hood up?
Yes.
Yeah.
No, it was the 12.
Oh, was it the 12?
It was the 12 with it propped up.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, these and again, these tractors are indicative of North Carolina agriculture. I mean, they were the small tractors used for those small tobacco fields, and that's why you can't find them in the Midwest. And I mean, optioned out with everything, correct muffler. I mean, they're just really, really fantastic restorations. The D12. We'll have Dan go to that D12. You know, this D10, of course, is Series 3's got 3-point and cultivators. Here's that 12. He had that displayed with the half of the hood up because the amount of detail that he went to on the engine is pretty phenomenal. You know, get online, folks, when you get a chance, and go through that catalog and take a look at all of our photographs, because kind of blow you away there.
And then the videos are embedded in the lots.
Yeah. If you go into that lot, the videos that you're watching now, you know, on this live event, you can replay those. Actually, you know, you can get your wife on the love seat and sit there and watch them tractor videos. It'll be super romantical, and you can watch them over and over and over. Hey, Dano, go jump down there to lot 17. The big old Massey 97. Jason, we talked about this a little when I was out there. Tell me about this big old beast, because this is a big dog in the shed.
Well, I'll let Bobby talk on this one, because I think he helped a little bit with Dad on the 97.
That'd be great.
I mean, yeah, it's fun to drive. I can tell you that. It feels like you're on top of the world looking down the hood, because you know the front end's a few inches higher when you're sitting in the seat. But it does, you know, it takes a good bit of area to turn it in. But that's massive rear end 4-wheel drive. It's pretty crazy to sit on top of this one.
Bobby, what do you remember about that tractor?
I really don't remember. I mean, I know we went as far as stripping sheet metal and wheels and stuff. I think the tractor was actually in pretty decent shape when he got it.
Uh-huh.
It was just pretty much a redo, repaint, lights, or wiring and stuff on it. That's really about all I really remember. But
Well, it's a big horse, and big tractors like that were used out west quite a bit in the wheat fields, and you didn't find those in North Carolina very often, due to the smaller fields and smaller crop specialties. But a great piece, and it's just a big old aggressive looking tractor. Hey Dan, before we get into lawn and gardens, I want to catch one more tractor, and folks, hey, I'm not hitting every tractor. I'm going to give you a few to look at when we go off, but we're going to go to lot 18, Dan, and that's the McCormick Deering, the 04 Orchard, and of course, Orchard tractors kind of stand out amongst themselves just because of the styling with that sheet metal and everything on it. I mean, they just always look cool. They look fast. But I'll tell you what, it's hard to find an Orchard tractor that is really, really done right because, look at the surface area that you've got to make perfect there. That is a lot of sheet metal and a lot of surface area. And, this... I was looking at this tractor when I was out there, and originally, this is the attention to detail that he went to. When those tractors were new, down around the exhaust, because that shield came down so close to the exhaust, there was actually like I don't know. Back then, it was probably made out of asbestos, but it was a heat tape that went around that exhaust. To keep it from burning the sheet metal, and darned if Darrell didn't replicate that heat tape on there. I mean, that is the kind of detail that he went to. So, and this has got a super rare set of front headlights on it with the correct Orchard brackets. I mean, that thing is a pretty phenomenal looking tractor. I mean, look how good that makes Doug Edwards look. I mean, that takes a pretty strong tractor to make him look that good. So, well, hey, let's jump into some of those lawn and garden tractors, Dan. If you want to hit number 24. Amber, what got him interested in lawn and garden tractors?
Well, before you move on to that, I was going to say something real quick about the Orchard.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Mike Matthews told me that came from the Chapel Hill area in North Carolina. When it came, it was not up to Daddy's expectations or standards with the latch. He spent a lot of time just fixing the latch for the hood, and it was a lot of custom work to that tractor. Daddy spent a lot of time to get it up to his standards.
So it's that kind of little minute detail. I mean, the hood latch. You got to get the hood latch right. I mean, when somebody's that concerned about the hood latch, that's the kind of tractor you want to buy. But so what got him into the lawn and garden tractors, Amber?
Well, when I remember all of this, he started with the pedals and the lawnmowers kind of about the same time. He wanted to move from tractors to the lawnmowers, and he did an exceptional job with both, but the lawnmowers are definitely top notch. The tractors are as well. So
way too nice to mow your yard with.
Oh yes, they were smaller to work with, and at this time I think he had retired from his career, and he wanted to work with something smaller.
Yeah, well, and I just taking a guess, I'm guessing he might have been getting close to out of shed room, because he had made pretty efficient use of space in the sheds, and he even had some of these lawn and garden tractors double stacked up on shelves. So, Dano, if you could pull up that number 24, that Oliver 75. So this is the smallest of the Oliver line, and really one of the hardest ones to find. You know, and Darrell has got he has got just darn near the entire line. Well, actually, he does maybe not every variation, but he's got every model. And you know, this was these were very short production run on Oliver lawnmowers. They were actually made by Jacobson and marketed by Oliver. So there's the 105. That's great, Dan. Appreciate that. So there's a 75, a 105, a 125, and a 145 hydro. So it's well, and hey, there's actually two 125s. He's got a 125 gear drive and a 125 hydro, which that 125 hydro, that's like, you know, it's like hunting Bigfoot. I mean, a lot of people talk about them, but not very many people actually see them. You know, so and everything's done just like the tractors, just like Amber said. The same attention to detail went into these lawn and garden tractors. So that's the gear drive 125 right there. But the same attention to detail went into these lawn and garden tractors as they did the big tractors. So really cool, really cool. All right, hey Dan, let's I don't want to completely focus on Oliver since that's my favorite. So let's go down. Let's hit lot 34. Lot 34. It's a Minneapolis Moline 112 hydro, and same way with Oliver's. I mean, you know, the Moline Lawn and Gardens, of course, marketed through Minneapolis Moline dealerships. They were generally a low production tractor. Several different models. Moline actually had a little more robust line of lawn and gardens. They were in it longer, and there were just more variations produced. You know, with Oliver, it was pretty limited. But this is a hydro. This is a 112 hydro, which makes it pretty rare. Man, I mean, look at, you know, just look at the insides of the rims and the mower deck, and pretty fantastic. Hey Dan, down, if you pull up lot 36, which is a yellow John Deere patio tractor. So that line was put out by Deere, and those came out in yellow, red, blue, and orange. And we've got a couple variations, I believe. If you go down in the catalog, there's a red 110 a little later on with a sickle bar mower on it. So. All right. Hey, do you guys have? We're gonna skip over, I think, to the sign catalog here. Do you guys have anything else you want to add on the tractors, or is there a particular tractor that you'd like us to pull up and take a look at, because you got a good story on that?
Kirk.
Yes.
I just wanted to say that with the lawnmowers, a lot of times when Daddy would research and find these lawnmowers, he would get them and they would be rusted and bent and kind of just, you know, ragged looking. He would take those and create a masterpiece. He always created a treasure from them. And so, you know, some people look at you know, something that's ragged and think, well, what am I going to do with that? Daddy created a masterpiece with it.
Yeah.
So, and showroom quality, definitely.
Oh yeah. It totally shows. Totally shows. Jason, you have anything else that on the tractors before we move on to the signs?
Man, I can't even say a whole lot. It's just it still amazes me just looking back though, like in this format. It's you know, Bobby's been a huge help with me getting everything back back up to dead standards over the last 8 months, relentless every weekend.
You know, so a lot of these tractors sat for a while. So you guys have went through and gotten everything up and going, and fresh batteries, fresh gas. I mean, explain that process, because I know you wanted to get it right back up to your dad's standards.
Well, you know, we thought it would be, I'm not going to say easy, but we thought it would be, you know, a good gradual process, and it wasn't as nice as that was. It could be. You know, we spent relentless Saturdays, every Saturday for, I think it was 14 or 15 weeks straight, sun up to sundown. There was Sundays mixed in. You know, Thanksgiving week, there were those days mixed in. You know, there was not rushed. We didn't want to do that. We wanted to make sure it was done right. Bobby taught me a ton during the process, and really it brought up a lot of good memories for me as far as deja vu type moments.
Yeah.
It's just, again, going through them, it was unreal being here my whole life, and, you know, I still live on the property. I just actually realized how detailed it was. You know, when you're around it your whole life, you don't pay attention to the little things and the little pieces. But then when you go back through that, it's just absolutely unreal how delicate everything was treated, I guess you could say.
Well, and I got to brag on you guys. I got to brag on you guys just a little, because you know, you might think that it took longer than what you thought, but we were pretty amazed at how quickly you moved through them, because we know what it takes to go in and do that. We have to do that, you know, several times a year, and it's a lot of work and takes a lot of time. But hey, Daniel, flip over there to the sign catalog, because boy, when I first walked back into that Quonset building, I mean, and there's signs all over the property. There were signs in every building, but when I first walked back into that Quonset building and looked at that sign collection, it was amazing. I mean, it was really tastefully displayed, and I mean, what's not to like about a bunch of I mean, check that out. What is not to like about a bunch of neon? I mean, it's adult guy candy. So it's even got the little spinning Union 76. Pretty cool. That vertical, you know, on the side of your screen there, the vertical case neon. You know, you probably find 4 or 5 horizontal case neons to every one vertical. So those are a lot tougher to find in if you want to go back to the catalog. Yeah, those are just a lot tougher to find, and double-sided, of course, and you know, neon's working great. And you know, if you like that sign and you want to buy that, we can arrange shipping. We would like for you to come and pick the neon up, and it could stay there for a little while until you could get there to pick it up, because it is like handling nitroglycerin just about when you're trying to ship neon. But it can certainly be done. Don't let that stop you from bidding. But you can call us if you need any more details. Yeah, go ahead, Jason.
Just throwing a little tidbit here on them neon signs, and I don't even know if you guys realize this where y'all were here. So it wasn't lack of power going to them to starve them, and you know, with older stuff, it's more delicate. Every one of those neon signs were on individual switches out there. There's about 22 switches in that shop.
Oh man! Well, again, that kind of shows how particular he was about that stuff. To
Absolutely
have all that on separate switches.
I mean, so those little details to make sure the amperage wasn't drawn off multiple signs to, you know, to mess anything up with the motors or whatever in them. But it was to make sure they got the full amperage that he could get to them. They were on separate switches.
Yeah, super cool. Dan, if you could go back to the catalog, we'll kind of peruse down through that catalog a little bit. You know, the Case Eagle, you know, that's a pretty iconic piece. Just keep on scrolling down. I'll tell you when if I want to stop on one. A lot of farm-related signs, you know. I mean, that was obviously his focus was farm-related, but every brand is represented. We're going to, stop right there. That lot 65, if you could just pull up a picture of that, Dan, that is really a rare sign. I mean, that was a promotion that McCormick Deering had I'm going to say late 30s, very early 40s, of their blue ribbon rebuilt tractors. A lot of times you'll see parts, promotional pieces with the blue ribbon logo on it, but that is a tough sign to find. If you want to go back to the catalog, Dan, we'll, yeah, look at that. I mean, that's a great logo there. Let's scroll down a little bit. We're going to get down into those clocks, because his clock display was well, hang on, I saw something else I like too. See that approved used tractor sign? That's pretty phenomenal. I'm pretty sure that was Case. Although I have had some people try to tell me that was John Deere, but I do know that sign, I've seen that in the wild at old Case dealerships, but I mean, that rarely comes up. I mean, that is a very, very hard sign to find. You do see those wrapped in neon, and this could have been one, although I don't think so. I think this was just a single-sided porcelain, but tough sign to find. If you want to go back to the catalog, Dan, we'll scroll on down to those clocks, because that was what an amazing collection he had of those. Just a little, touches on a little bit of everything: seed corn stuff, tractor stuff. That AC parts and service sign is a real tough sign to find. Actually, that's a reproduction. I'm sorry. And he does have a few new signs mixed in, but we have those marked, folks. Here you go, Dan. Here you go. Lot 133. That Oliver neon clock. There's several variations of that. This is the hardest one to find with the small logo. A pretty tough piece to find. Hey guys, what got him started on the signs and the clocks? I mean, that was how'd that happen?
We have no clue, but I think you want to fill the walls up, to be honest with you.
Just kind of add decor.
I mean, yeah, he ended up going to a couple shows and picking up some signs, and and then the neons. I do know the neons came before the clock neons did, and when he got into clock neons, a lot of those I was able to actually help him find and track down for him, and it, just like everything else, he was extremely specific on it. Very detail oriented, and wanted a lot of information about them before he would go the process to get them. And I think that was it started as more of a wall filler to go in between the pedals and the tractors and stuff.
That was a lot of hunting. You must have went to a lot of antique shops and a lot of auctions to find that many.
That was a pretty unique experience for sure.
Yeah. So Alice Neon, John Deere. Just scroll on down if you the IH Pam clock, double bubble Purina. Just a lot of super. He had these all displayed kind of in one spot, and so with lighted signs like the International Harvester freezers and refrigerators.
That's one of my favorite ones.
The director Dan puts his stamp of approval on the IH refrigerators and freezers, and that's a tough sign to find in good shape. I mean, because that's a very, very thin plastic. That was a window sign that hung in the front window of the dealership. So usually when you find them, they're faded out. So that's a great piece. Hey, let's flip over to that pedal tractor catalog, because whoa, you talk about some cool stuff. Of course, that pedal Caterpillar is a real tough piece to find. But you see that lot 202. That's a 430 custom. Now, I believe because none of those were marked, but I believe that is a Cecil Church custom that was probably made in the 90s. And when Cecil, there was obviously never any of the Dubuque pedal tractors ever made originally, and Cecil made a lot of customs. And he actually had just a little bit of a run-in with John Deere over those many years ago, so had to quit making them almost as soon as he started. So they're real tough to find, And if you want to go back to the whole catalog there, Dan, there are, just stop right there if you would real quick. Darrell has got a lot of custom pedal tractors, and it's all the big names, Gene Gregory, he's got a lot of Gene Gregory pedal tractors, Tom Magnuson pedal tractors. If you want to just keep scrolling there a little bit, there's a Magnuson 950 and a Magnuson 440. Amber, I know you kept track of a lot of these pedal tractors for him. I mean, when he got one, he tried to get them all of that brand. Is that right?
That's correct. One day, I can remember basically he had no pedal tractors, and then all of a sudden he had tons of pedal tractors. And
they just all of a sudden appeared.
Yes, they did. And I can remember coming to visit with my family. Every time we would come, he would have new shelves built and display the new pedal tractors, and he would just have more and more and more.
Well, if you watched RFD TV last week, is that right, Dan? Last weekend on Saturday, on Old Iron Adventures, there was a great show on how the guys went out and got the pedal tractors down and cataloged them. That was a segment on Old Iron Adventures on the 23rd of April. On the 23rd, make sure to tune in to Old Iron Adventures, because we'll be going through all the signs on the barrier collection. So that's we'll have another segment on this collection there. Dan, if you want to go back right where we left off, that 901 Ford, put the hammer down on that thing.
While you're switching up on that at some point, Kurt.
Pardon me, Jason?
At some point, just a random point,
we
have to allow Amber to tell the stories about her husband Shane having to bring some down here. That's it'll bring up the importance of how careful he was with transport on these pedal tractors.
Well,
he was never threatened to marry my sister. He was threatened to get the pedal tractors here safely.
Well, hey, everybody's got their priorities, Jason. Amber, tell us that story. We better we better give you a chance to defend Shane's good honor here.
Well, Shane is sitting right here. I can remember he went to go pick up tractors from Mike Matthews, pedal tractors, and he was basically told to wrap them in blankets, seatbelt them in, because they were basically worth more than his tractor. Is that correct? His truck, excuse me, his truck. Is that correct? That's correct.
Well, you know what? I had a truck like that back when I drove Chevys. Hey, Dan, show that 901 Ford, if you would. Now, Darrell did an exceptional job whenever he restored a pedal tractor, but he was also smart enough to know when you had an original that was this nice, you left it alone. And that may be right up there as one of the nicer original 901s you're going to ever find in the wild. I mean, look at that thing. It's fantastic. And Dan, if you go back to the catalog and you go maybe a lot or two down, there's the covered wagon, 219, the Ford covered wagon. And that was probably sold with both the 900 and 901. And, I want you to stop and think for just a second how the abuse that a child could put that wagon through, and where that wagon top would have ended up at some point. So really great piece. And that, like I say, that'll go with the 900 or 901, either one. Dan, if you go back to the catalog, you can see that 900 right there before, and then of course next there's a 6,000 gas. I believe there's 6,000 diesel in the catalog there too. But just scroll on down, because he wasn't particular on any brand on the pedal tractors, and you know, whenever he starts with a brand, he goes from the beginning to the end. So I mean, there's some of the very, very first pedal tractors, right down to, you know, some of the later model. It has variations. Look at all the variations of H's and M's. You know, he's got the mid-size, the short, the tall steering, the short steering. You know, just almost every variation. Kind of you just keep scrolling down. I want to get down to a few. There's some more customs, of course. There's a Gregory Massey pony. We're gonna get down to the Olivers down in here. There you go. Yeah, of course we are. We got to talk about Olivers. Always got to talk about Olivers. It's got the large Massey 44. Has over on now 263 is a recast open grill that they made into a puller. 264 is the closed grill 88, and if you scroll down just a little further, you're going to find that open grill 88. It's just down just a little ways. No, that's the Super 88. You know, I got a Director Dan is an International Harvester man, so we still like him. So, yeah. You know, but sometimes you got to talk a little slow so he understands you. That checkerboard 1800 Oliver that we went past, that was super good one right there, lot 271. One of the rarer Oliver tractors. You keep scrolling on down, you'll get to that open grill eventually here, Dano. There's the Tractol, just almost you know, most variations right up to the later ones. So guys, you got any pedal tractor stories to tell us?
He wouldn't let my kids, which is 10 and 6 now, so he wouldn't let my oldest little girl ride any of the pedal tractors down there, so they bought her a hot pink 1066 for her to ride on her own. And I believe he done the same thing with Zachary and Kaylee, Amber's 2 kids, and I think Zachary wore the tires off of his, if I understand right. But it was to keep I feel like it was to keep them from touching his pedal tractors when they were here visiting.
Well, that story kind of hits home, because I bought my cute little granddaughter Lily a pink Farmall H, so she'd leave my Olivers alone. So, yeah, so that really hits home. So, well, hey, I tell you what, I really appreciate you guys being on tonight. We've been on for almost an hour, so we're gonna sign off and let these folks get back to some network television maybe. But I just want to remind everybody that you know, May 3rd, 4th, and 5th is the auction. April 30th is the open house, and make sure to tune in to Old Iron Adventures on RFD on April the 23rd and catch a segment on the barrier signs. Hey, do you guys have anything you'd like to add before we sign off?
Nah, not a whole lot. Happy bidding.
Happy bidding. There you go. Amber, do you have anything to say?
I just wanted to say how passionate Daddy was about his collection, and he just loved restoring, and you know, that was his hobby and that was his passion, and he did a wonderful job at it. He's very precise and meticulous. Well,
I thank you folks for letting us represent you on this project. We're very, very proud to do it, and it's super stuff. Check out the website. We've got 4 catalogs up. We didn't even look at the toys in the literature, so make sure you peruse through that. If you have any questions, you know, never hesitate to give us a call or drop us an email, and we'll do our very best to get back in touch with you. And we appreciate you, and hope